What's up, midweekers? Welcome back to Tyrrell Time. I'm Boris Johnson. Do you know that feeling where you know you're supposed to be doing something important? Uh, we are 3 rounds in now, or 2 rounds down, on the 2002 season. And I thought coming into this season that actually we'd done everything pretty much right. However, the game disagrees, and the car seems to be slower than last year. It doesn't help as well that we have a very inexperienced driver in Hiroshi Tanaka, and Shinji Nakano is not a happy bunny. Nevertheless, what we're currently doing is working on some updates for the current car, and I've been thinking between episodes about whether it's really worth developing this car like all in. So what I'm going to do is, obviously we've already started the A spec, so we will finish that up and see what kind of difference it makes to on-track performance, because that's usually a good bellwether for if it's worth having a B or even a C spec over the year. And it's about finding a balance, I suppose, between matching or surpassing our position in the constructors last year, which is obviously a goal for us, or and also conserving resources, because I believe we have a loan due at the end of this season, which is going to impact us quite significantly. We also have to consider that we are operating on a smaller budget than previously. So a lot of balls to juggle. I said balls. Other than that, we have some other jobs to do. Still trying to get a works deal with Bridgestone. Unfortunately, they're only prepared to give us a one-season deal. Not cool. I thought we were friends. I may briefly speak to Goodyear and see if they are prepared to up the ante. Really, we should be with Bridgestone. And we should be with Mobil, but Mobil wouldn't give us a works deal. And honestly, we're at the point where we need it. So even though we had certain ties in the past, and particularly with Bridgestone trying to do the Japanese team project, we really should be with Bridgestone. But this is the first time I think they've offered us a works deal that we can realistically obtain. But it's only for one season, and our Red Bull contract is up at the end of this season. Sorry, the end of next season. It was a long deal, wasn't it? That means we have to put quite a lot of people into obtaining a replacement for them. Nevertheless, we'll figure it out as we go. In terms of cash sponsors, we're talking to HSBC. They don't seem particularly thrilled to be dealing with us, but whatevs. We've got plenty of irons in the fire. So, we can tweak some of our tyre specs. However, it really is just tweaking. It's not improving. So that's also going to hold us back. Same with the engine. Not much we can really do on the engine front. Yeah, not much we can do at all, actually. I think, to be honest, that C spec is probably about the sweet spot for us at the moment, and we just have to hope that they release an engine to us that has more points that we can then redevelop in the same direction. We have a totally worn out car, never a good sign, and we haven't run testing yet that I'm aware. No, we haven't. I'm going to be cutting down on testing, though. That much I do know. We don't need to do any engine testing right now. We don't need to do any tyre testing. In terms of fuels, fuel testing is definitely worth our time because we have a works deal. So we will prioritize that to some degree, actually. Let's get Tanaka's car back in the game. Have to make sure we get good value for money on that spare part. And I think that should allow us to cut down testing and still be reasonably efficient. Yeah, because we don't really want to be spending 800 grand in an ideal world. That's a bit steep. 500 grand is already a bit of a hard pill to swallow, but I do want to make sure we get plenty of points out of this. Not as much as I would have hoped for, but we got full setup points, which is the main thing I was concerned about missing out on. Let's develop our race fuels at least. Now, in terms of staffing, I think we have everyone signed up that we need. Yes, Gustav Brunner is joining the team next season, and everyone else is all signed up and ready to go. We have 2 spaces in the design team that we can fill. Everything else looks pretty hunky-dory. So, on to construction for this round. Just spare parts, obviously, because we have no upgrades ready for the car at all. A little surprising, actually. Don't we have any technology upgrades? No. Wow, this car doesn't look very sexy, does it? Some of these values are really worrying. Really worrying. No wonder we're struggling. I'm still going to leave the drivers fairly aggressive, and we'll just try and get out of the car what we can. I think the hard tyre compound strategy is probably the best one, so we will stick to that and hopefully start getting some points in the near future. It'll be a few more rounds before we get a new spec of the car out, but it has to be done. Oh great, we're carrying damage as well. That's right, we're having some reliability problems, aren't we? Because our cars are very unreliable. Yeah, I'm going to have to run a very worn car for Tanaka. It's just going to have to be the way it is. Yeah, we may have overstretched ourselves here. We might have to pull back on the testing quite significantly. We just don't have the manpower. Level 2 traction control. That could be useful. Can we copy that? We don't have enough resources. Hot damn. Never mind. New engine for everybody. New fuel for everybody. Hard tyres all around. I'm sad about Tanaka running with so much wear on his car, but it's just going to have to be that way. I didn't set up the cars. What a twat. I'm going to put all our cards in the Nakano basket here. I think that's pretty much all we can do, because Tanaka's car's fucked and he's running on a very low aggression level just to make sure he finishes. So not the most auspicious start to the year. 16 degrees and very dry for the Argentine Grand Prix. Everything's set up for quali. Not expecting any miracles. That's actually better than I expected. That is way better than I expected. Still, interesting front row for you. Damon Hill in the McLaren takes pole position, ahead of Ricardo Rosset in the Minardi for some reason. Olivier Panis lines up third for Jordan. David Coulthard fourth for McLaren. Former Tyrrell man Toru Takagi puts his Jordan fifth. Alberto Marini in the Minardi P6. Our own Shinji Nakano P7. We're split by Eddie Irvine in the Arrows. Tanaka a healthy ninth given the state of his car and setup. Only, well, not even a full 2/10 off the back of Nakano there. Mika Sales Williams in P10. Let's see if we can convert that. It's a bit warmer in the Grand Prix, 22 degrees. First of all, fresh boots all round, please. Yeah, lap 36 for Nakano. And we will actually bring Tanaka in first. It's just a gut feeling that I've got. But like a TV detective from the 80s, I always trust my gut. And apparently it paid off. Finally some points on the board. Now, of course, Tanaka failed to finish because his car was a mess from the start, but Shinji Nakano bringing it home P2, big points for us that we desperately needed. Damon Hill wins from pole in his McLaren. Shinji Nakano basically a minute down the road, but still second, ahead of Toru Takagi in the Jordan. Panis in Jordan takes P4. Marini converts into points for Minardi with a P5, and Mika Hakkinen started 10th, brings it up to 6th in the Grand Prix. What took Tanaka out? Engine failure. Still, it's hard to say because we have quite high attrition. It's hard to say how much of that was actually down to us, but crucially, finally some points. Damon Hill is your Drivers' Championship leader, 30 points to David Coulthard's 10. Mika Hakkinen third on 7, and Nakano joint fourth with Irvine and Panis, all on 6 apiece. And in the constructors, we leapfrog Minardi and Benetton by 2 points, and we are a mere 1 point behind the Arrows and Williams battling out for joint third. McLaren are running away with it so far, Jordan in a fairly healthy second, but not insurmountable. We needed that result. We really did need that result. Let's try and find some good news in Sponsor Town. Doesn't look like we're going to find any. How much money are you offering? 2.1 million. Oh, no, it's tyres that we were looking at. 1.25 million. 1 million. For a quarter of a million, it's not really fucking worth changing, to be honest. We will spend our resources on the key sponsors. That would be tying up the Shell deal, 2.1 million. That's very important. Secondarily, the tyres from Bridgestone. So let's spend those resources. Minor progress on the HSBC deal, not going as fast as any of us would want, but we will learn to live with it. Okay. Stage 1 of our new specification chassis is ready. Let's move on to the second. Not quite there yet with the first stage of the 2003 car. However, the results, the technical guidelines, that's the one, are not ready yet, so we don't even know if it complies. And we have level 1 servo brakes ready to homologate, and we got them through. Smashing. Let's try and upgrade our active suspension very slowly. Not getting very far with our technology improvements. Might need to divert some more resources to that from the next Grand Prix, because I don't want to be carrying these problems around the whole year. Let's have a read of the news, shall we? See what's going on there. If I get my frame rate back, that would be smashing. Just saw an opportunity to hire 2 new strong commercial staff, and I will be all over that like a homeless man on hot fries. Let's see what we've got in here. No, the mechanics have always been sound. They don't leave us. Okay, news time. Let's see what's going on in the world of news. Damon Hill, Shinji Nakano. You know the score. John Lacey returning from presumably injury or some kind of suspension, so he'll be back in the Sauber. Hiroshi Tanaka unhappy, car failing on him. Jordan got 2 cars in the top 6. Lauren Redon has picked up a contract with Prost for next season. Nigel Stepney leaving us to go to Jordan. Other than that, not really big news, but it's to be honest, it's not surprising. It's very early in the season, really, for any of the big movers and shakers to move and shake. So, sponsors are all sponsored. News is newsed. We will sort some testing out once I've made sure that we can actually run our car. Actually, we just need to, something like that. We just need to get it good enough to actually run. I will do a few more miles, given what we learned last time, but not many. Everything will stay pretty much as it is. And that gives us some points to play with, which should enable us to move on here. Cracking. Really not helping us sort these problems out, are they? Why don't we try and bump that up a bit? That leaves us now simply to order a new spec of fuel. God, this frame rate is killing me. It's killing me. Let's go with that. Yeah, no new tyres, no new power units. Our partners care not for us. It's getting harder and harder to do these episodes. You can tell by the long gap between them, right? But I have so many technical problems and I've tried everything I can. But the frame rate, man, just keeps tanking on me. And sometimes the recordings come out all skew-iffy. That's a technical term for bollocks. Right, let's get the damage off. Oh wow, we managed to actually get both cars into good condition. That is a surprise, pleasant one, but a surprise nevertheless. We're burning through cash a little bit too quickly as well, so this testing malarkey may have to be cut back upon. Let's confirm that. Okay. This time we're giving Tanaka a fair crack of the whip again. And we have servo brakes for everybody. You get servo brakes, you get servo brakes. Well, actually that's it. We don't want to give them to any of the other cars. And we have a new fuel with some more power, which isn't really going to help us at Imola, but you know, whatever. Oh, let's complain about McLaren's servo brakes. And let's see if they've got any automatic gears that we can nick from them. That would be handy. Okay, so we are off to San Marino. .20 degrees, very dry with a strong wind for qualifying. Again, not coming into this feeling especially confident. Let's have a see. Yeah, this is pretty much, and it's still quite good actually. Tanaka's about where I expected to be. Nakano's maybe a place above where I thought he'd end up. But this is far more what I was expecting based on what we saw in the first 2 Grand Prix. It's another pole for Damon Hill. Teammate David Coulthard behind him. Toru Takagi continues his strong run for Jordan. taking P3. Irvine in the arrows, back in the mix as well. Yeah, this is much more normal, quote unquote. 23 degrees and dry for the race. We will again be one stopping. Hopefully both cars finish the Grand Prix. Not entirely convinced that's going to happen because they are highly unreliable, which I wouldn't mind if they were at least fast, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Again, I'm going to pit Tanaka first, even though he's behind. Well, we do get another point. Shinji Nakano, P6, the final points paying position. So, not all was lost. Again, though, Tanaka, hydraulic failure this time, but we've got to get on top of these reliability problems. We really do. Hopefully the upgrade package helps us out as well. David Coulthard makes it another win for McLaren. Eddie Irvine on the podium with arrows in P2. Damon Hill third for McLaren. Takagi and Salo pick up the remaining points for Jordan and arrows respectively. That leaves us joint fourth still in the points with Shinji Nakano, and in the constructors we're equal fourth with Williams. Jordan and arrows now building up a bit of a gap to us that we can hopefully close. Minardi and Benetton fighting it out for sixth. Okay, give me some good news. Oh, that's some good news. Yeah, both of those are kind of good news. Yeah, I'll take that. Nice one. It's like the game heard me. Let's see how we're doing in terms of update packages. Yeah, let's get all over that. Wow, that update is really causing us grief. Given we're so far ahead of the curve with development on next year's car, and we are, I'm going to have to put another 5% on solving this problem because another 10% even. It's too important now. It's costing us too much. We've become a one-car team. We've received no new bits and bobs from any of our partners. Anything good in the news? Ferrari have got a works deal with Goodyear. Arrows have signed Olivier Panis. Jordan have picked up Jan Magnussen. He's replacing Panis. And that's about it. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'm sorry for the big gap between episodes. That should all be done and dusted now. In fact, I'm going to record another one right after this one, so I'm good as my word. I hope you've had an amazing start to the week. I hope the rest of the week treats you very, very well, and we will hang out again at the weekend. Bye, love you, bye.